Hello and welcome to What's Cooking Good Looking, where I, Torbjörk Hafferdokker of Icelandic descent, shows you everything there is to know about tofu and how to make an Indian tofu casserole with peas. That last part is true. So here's a tip that I think most of you may have heard already, and it is when you dealing with tofu, the best thing I think to get it sort of more chewy is as soon as you get it home, freeze it. And then when you're about to use it, thaw it, because that changes the texture of the tofu. It gets chewier and it doesn't sort of fall apart so easily. It turns sort of, not quite into seitan, but in that area, like, I don't know, maybe like chicken? I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was, but it isn't sort of tofu-like that way, that sort of just crumbly thing. Anyway, so I am thawing. I have thawed my tofu, and now I have made a little press, because it is best to press the tofu, to press all the water out, because the water doesn't taste like anything. And when you pressed out the water, it sort of turns into a sponge and sort of absorb everything you put it in. So now we're going to make a puree. Yeah, because this is the sort of you're going to fry the tofu, and then you're going to pour the puree over it and let the puree simmer, and then you will be adding other stuff. I think this is quite a quick recipe, I hope. You start by pressing and then cubing 400 grams of tofu, and after you sort of cube them or press them, there won't be 400. You start out with, this is muddled, isn't it? You take 400 grams of frozen tofu, press out the water, makes it not weigh 400 grams, doesn't matter. Put them in a frying pan with 2 tablespoons of oil, fry. Here we go. Oh, maybe I should have waited till it was hotter, but never know mind. Meanwhile, into a blender you put a chunk of ginger, 2 garlic cloves or 5, 1 sort of roughly chopped up red onion, 2 deciliters of crushed tomatoes. Then you add 1 teaspoon of cummin, half a teaspoon of gara masala, which is a sort of a spice blend, half a teaspoon of tumeric, which in Swedish would be gurkmeja, half a teaspoon of chili powder, a pinch of cinnamon, teaspoon of salt, and then you blend. Here we go. So, maybe add some water. Here we go. So the recipe doesn't say so, but I added 2 deciliters of water to just make it work. This part, that recipe wasn't quite, there were some mistakes in it, and this as well, because, can't really blend this. Yes, I double checked. It says to put it through in a blender. There. So now we pour this thing over this thing. Let this simmer for about 5 minutes. Since I added those 2 deciliters of water, I'm cooking this so that the water evaporates before continuing with the recipe. When this is achieved, you add 3 deciliters of frozen peas. Well, mine are frozen. I don't know what yours. Yours is ours. Half a deciliter of vegan cream and 3 deciliters of water. Yes, just the thing that I sort of boiled this down to get rid of. And let this come to a boil. But even though it's 5 o'clock, this is technically lunch. So before eating that, I'm having a great big salad with, salad, green peas, and crushed walnuts. And my lovely vinaigrette, which is I make a big batch, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, white wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt. I know that's much, but that's me. And also 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. Yes, me like garlic. And while waiting for this to get hot, we're starting with this. So this is supposed to be served with rice, but instead, for environmental reasons, I'm serving it with oats. Oat rice, it's called. Something new, I don't know. I don't know if it's new, but to me it's kind of new. So anyway, let's have a taste test. This needs more salt. I should really start tasting food. I just cook them. And Julia Child always said, taste, taste, taste and season. There are, for what, you know, and I never do. So more salt. But this is surprisingly sweet. It's not very... I could have used more spices. Definitely. It is mild. So if you're doing this recipe, sort of crank it up a bit, I think. More salt. Oh, I need pepper. Well, this is good. This is sort of your basic Indian food, I guess. Salt. Thank you for watching and for liking, commenting, subscribing and following. It really helps, and something to do with the internet and the algorithm, I think. So thank you so